What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I'm here to give you guys my final prediction for the main event of UFC 313, which is taking place this week. We've got Alex Pereira, personal friend of the channel, versus Big Ank, Magomed Ankalaev. And I know that John Cena just turned heel, and you guys are thinking I'm going to turn heel against Ankalaev, but I'm here to let you know right now, I'm riding with this pick, dude. I am picking fucking Magomed Ankalaev, dude. I'm not flinching, bro. I'm picking Big Ank, dude. I think that Big Ank is the hardest fight for Alex Pereira in this division. And it's kind of funny to say that and think about it. Like, it's not a crazy take, but it is just funny that in order to be like, oh my god, man, is Alex Pereira going to be able to pull this off? All you have to do is be like well-rounded and not a blob and not fucking Yuri Prohaska. I think that defense is very gay, and I don't like this. Like, literally, all Magomed Ankalaev does is just well-rounded striking, good wrestling, good cardio, good chin, and he's like, oh my god, man, this guy's gonna beat Alex Pereira. Like, that's how I feel about this. I just think he's clearly the second best light heavyweight right now, and I think he's a really hard matchup for Alex Pereira. I'm gonna talk about both of these guys, what they need to do to get the win, and then I'm going to give you my detailed prediction of how I think this fight's going to go, why I think Magomed Ankalaev's going to win. First thing I'll talk about is Alex Pereira. Now listen, dude, I'm not a Pereira hater, bro. I'm dead ass not. I was celebrating, jumping for joy like that Squid Game fucking meme when this guy beat Israel Adesanya. But realistically, he only has one way to win this fight, and that is via knockout. I don't think over 5 rounds, Magomed Ankalaev is not going to shoot a takedown at some point. Okay, so for Alex Pereira in this fight, I think he needs to have good takedown defense. He does not need to hold the fucking guillotine with the blank face up against the fence that he always does. He needs to actually disengage from takedown defense situations, keep it standing. I think that the leg kicks, like, they're not going to be as much of a deal against Ankalaev because he's southpaw, but I mean, they're still important. Like, he still has to use his fucking calf kicks in this matchup against Magomed Ankalaev. Obviously, the classic meme is like, dude, Blachowicz crippled fucking Ank, dude. I don't think it's going to be like that, but I do think that he needs to use his leg kicks, and I think that he needs to keep him, like, Ankalaev on the back foot, dude. I think if Ankalaev's pressuring him and starting to go forward, he's going to get pieced up a little bit in the boxing. So I think for Alex Pereira, the main thing is when he's defending the takedowns, which I think he actually has underrated takedown defense. I think he's actually pretty good at it, but he just holds on for too long in those situations. That's my biggest thing, is if he holds that fucking fake guillotine that he always does, brother, you're going for a ride. Big Ank's going to be taking you on fucking a trip to Suplex City, bro. I swear to God, bro, if you're an Alex Pereira fan, you cannot lie, dude. When he jumps that stupid guillotine standing there, you know he's getting taken down. You know this. So Alex Pereira in this fight needs to disengage as quickly as possible from grappling with Magomed Ankalaev, because he will get destroyed in the grappling. Like, I'm just being real. This is the best wrestler that he's fought, the best grappler that he's fought. He's not going to get submitted, but if he gets taken down, he's going to get put in really bad spots. So disengage from the grappling, use the inside leg kicks against the southpaw. I think jabs and right hands, and honestly, like, front kicks to the body would work pretty well against Magomed Ankalaev for Alex Pereira. And as for Big Ank, like I said, is this guy extraordinary as a striker? Not really, but he's, like, clearly the second best striker in the division, except for maybe Jan Blachowicz. But actively right now, it's Magomed Ankalaev with his boxing, with his defense, with his chin, his cardio, his ability to mix things up. I think this is a really hard fight for fucking Alex Pereira, dude, because Magomed Ankalaev, if he mixes in the wrestling, not just getting takedowns, right? Because we know he's going to strike in round 1 and 2. I'm not talking about, dude, if Ank just goes out there spamming takedown, that's not what he does. Okay, I'm not delusional here. I know he's going to box with Alex Pereira. I think if he just feints level changes a lot. Like, even if he just ducks his head, I see him landing big left hands down the middle. He has a good left high kick that I think will work well against Alex Pereira. I think he needs to just be patient early on. Like, he is very good defensively. When you look at his numbers, dude, he gets hit a lot less than Alex Pereira does in terms of the striking. He is pretty, like, defensively sound, all right? He's still powerful. He has good damage, really good boxing. I think if he's just patient, defensive early on, taking the fight into like round 2 and 3, then actually chasing takedowns, it's going to be easier to get takedowns. And I think the fact that he's a southpaw means he's not going to get hit with that left hook as easily. That's my opinion. I know he is there for it sometimes, but I don't think it's going to be the shot that finishes him, dude. I think if Pereira hurts him, it's going to be like a right hand down the middle, or maybe a big head kick or something like that. Rakic was using them really well against Ankalaev. But honestly, I just think Magomed Ankalaev is closer in the striking to Alex Pereira than Pereira is to him in the grappling. And when I look at this fight and I'm thinking, what is my actual prediction? Like, how do I see this going? I think that it's going to be Magomed Ankalaev doing well on the feet early on, just like patient, not rocking Pereira early on, maybe landing some good left hands down the middle. He's really fast. I think that as this fight goes on, his defense is good enough and he has the threat of the wrestling to where he's not going to get chinned in round 1 or 2. And when we hit round 3 and 4 and 5 and we're mixing in wrestling and he does shoot takedowns, which I know he will, he's going to wrestle at some point. And if he doesn't, he's fucked. Like, bro, if he disregards all of this and just strikes and loses, you can't hold that against me, dude. Clearly, this guy is the better fucking grappler in this matchup. He has good boxing, good cardio, good chin, good speed. If he uses his striking and then mixes in takedowns, he's going to win this fight. That's what I believe, man. Like I said before, he's closer in striking to Alex Pereira than Pereira is to him in the grappling. When you look at their striking numbers, Alex Pereira is a little bit more powerful. Magomed Ankalaev has a very good chin. He hasn't been knocked out. He's fought big punches like Santos and Jan Blachowicz. Alex Pereira's been knocked out by fucking Israel Adesanya. And when we talk about the grappling, right? Like, obviously, Pereira's the better striker. The calf kicks, his range control, his jab is fucking beautiful. Like, I like the way Alex Pereira strikes. He's going to be dangerous early on. But if they start grappling, like when Ankalaev finally gets those takedowns, Alex Pereira got fucking khabibed by Israel Adesanya. I'm not talking, he got tailed down controlled. No, dude. Israel Adesanya had this man in a fucking Dagestani handcuff. He's putting hooks in on the back, landing ground and pound against Pereira. I just think there's a world of difference between them in the grappling and them in the striking, right? Not to mention the fact that when they are striking early on, Southpaw versus Orthodox, you're not going to see as many effective kicks from Alex Pereira. He's still going to use them. They're a big part of his game, but the left hook's not going to be as effective. It's not going to be as like available for him, right? The leg kicks are not going to be as available. He's going to be using more jabs and right hands, as we saw against Khalil Darius fucking Roundtree, right? And that's a fight that I watch and I go, bro, if Big Ank is in there, landing these looping right hands into the left, like looping right hooks into the left hands down the middle, just like Khalil was doing, bro, he's going to do way more damage. He's going to be faster. He's bigger. He probably hits about the same, if not slightly harder than like Khalil Roundtree. It's definitely up for debate. But Magomed Ankalaev is just a bigger, like more proven and way more well-rounded version of Khalil Roundtree. He's close to Khalil Roundtree in the striking. Like he's a big southpaw, good kicks, good boxing, good defense, except he also has Dagestani wrestling as a threat. Like, it's gonna be in the mind of Pereira. So I feel like in this fight, round 1 and 2, Pereira's gonna be, pressuring a little bit. I guarantee you Pereira's gonna run and do that jumping side kick to the face. I can guarantee you he's gonna start with some bullshit like that. And then I think that he's going to land some leg kicks on the inside. He's going to be jabbing Ankalaev a little bit. Ankalaev's going to slip and land some big shots, like a big left hand down the middle at some point is going to get a big reaction. And I think when he's feinting level changes, he's going to be able to like grab the legs, kind of fake a takedown, land a hook on the break. Once we hit round 3 and 4 and he actually starts getting takedowns or mixing in trying to get takedowns, I think he's going to be able to off-balance Alex Pereira pretty easily. I don't think Alex Pereira's balance is very good. I think his static takedown defense is good. He's good at controlling wrists, but we've seen he stays there too long, and if you pick him up and turn him, he's going down. And once it hits the ground, I think Magomed Ankalaev is going to be able to land a lot of ground and pound from that Dagestani handcuff kind of position when Pereira tries to get up. I just think that as this fight goes on, the cardio of Pereira to grapple for 5 rounds is not there, bro. We've seen this guy slow down purely striking in 5-round fights. It usually doesn't go that long with him, but I think against a guy with a pretty good chin, who has good defense, who's hard to hit, who is made to wrestle for 5 rounds, and also is a good boxer with good power, and he's going to be changing levels, using the takedown threat to land his striking a lot better. Once we hit 3, 4, and 5, even late round 2, I think Magomed Ankalaev is going to be able to get takedowns easier and easier, Because early on, I think Pereira is going to be hard to take down. Like, he's definitely working on that a lot for this fight. But like, this is the best wrestler he's fought. And once he starts turning him and off-balancing him, he's going to take him down. He's going to control Pereira. Pereira's going to throw up some bullshit submissions. Ankalaev's going to get his back. He's going to land ground and pound. I could see either a ground and pound TKO for Magomed Ankalaev or maybe like a rear naked choke. I could see that being the finish. But I'm going to trust Alex Pereira. I'm actually going to give him a lot of credit. I do think that he's very smart when he's defending bad positions. I think that early on, he's going to do some decent damage with his jab. Like I said, with some inside leg kicks, like his power leg is still going to be there to kick the inside. I think he's going to do some decent damage early on. But I think as this fight goes on, Magomed Ankalaev is going to be able to mix up his pretty good boxing and striking with his wrestling that is just superior to Pereira. Like his grapple, like I said it pretty clearly, bro. The striking will be close. I favor Pereira. He's more powerful. Ankalaev's going to be a little bit tentative and defensive early on. Once they start grappling, I think Ankalaev's literally going to be able to fucking like manhandle this dude at some points. I really do, man. So I'm going to say that Magomed Ankalaev wins this fight by... I'm feeling a fucking decision, bro. I'm feeling like people are going to be complaining about this. Like, I know that the crash out when Ankalaev wins is going to be legendary. I feel like there's going to be a lot of tears. I feel like there's going to be a lot of fucking rage. And the thing is, it's like, I don't care. Like, I think this would be a cool fight if they do a rematch. These are the two best light heavyweights, and Yuri Prochazka's waiting to fight the winner of this. So regardless of what happens, right, like, even if Pereira does go out there and Ankalaev just refuses to shoot, lands some good shots early on, and then gets chinned by something, right? And the thing about the Khalil Roundtree matchup that I think is a little bit, like, confusing for some people, I guess, or maybe, like, misleading, he lost that fight later on because he slowed down. Khalil Roundtree does not have good cardio. He had 2 good rounds against Pereira, not even as good as it kind of got made out to seem. Like, when you rewatch that fight, it's like, okay, like, Pereira's actually doing okay. He just got caught with some shit. I think Ankalaev's going to be similar levels of success, if not slightly more, except he can go 5 rounds. And if it starts to go bad for him on the feet, guess what he's going to fucking do? Take down Pereira. It's not that fucking hard, dude. Blachowicz, Izzy, Yuri Prochazka, all of these guys took down Alex Pereira. I think that Magomed Ankalaev is going to eventually mix it up, and he's going to be able to do it for 5 rounds. This is the hardest fight for Pereira in the division, bar none. And I think that regardless of what happens, like if Pereira wins by KO, Magomed Ankalaev wins, whatever happens, the fight against Yuri is going to be cool as fuck. Like, Unk versus Yuri is a sick fight. I think that's a really cool matchup. I weirdly think Yuri's style works a little bit better against Ankalaev than it does against Pereira. But regardless of what happens, I know that we're either going to get Pereira moving up to heavyweight and trying to be a triple champ, or we're getting a sick fight between fucking Ankalaev versus Yuri. You know, Ankalaev versus Khalil would be kind of cool. I don't think this is that bad for the division if Ankalaev wins, and I'm seeing a lot of people act like it is, bro. Newsflash, buddy. Pereira doesn't speak fucking English either. I know that he makes IG reels and shit, and listen, I like Pereira. I've met Pereira. I've gone to a fucking thing to meet him, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I'm not a Pereira fan. But realistically, people are like, dude, this fucking goblin's gonna ruin the sport. It's like, Ankalaev is like well-rounded. He's clearly very good. We've come around on fucking Merab, who's another goblin who threatened to ruin the fucking division that he was in. Like, we were all saying the same shit about O'Malley and Merab, right? Except I think more people are fans of Merab than Ankalaev. I will say that. But, like, I still think that Ankalaev in this division full of goofy goobers, especially people that have a submission threat, I think those are the guys that are going to be able to beat Ankalaev, like upset him and maybe catch him off guard, because obviously his only loss is to Paul Craig. And this is the last thing I'll say, man. The people that disagree with what I'm saying, that Ankalaev is going to be able to do well enough on the feet early on with the wrestling threat to extend Pereira a little bit and then eventually take him down and control him and maybe get a ground and pound TKO or maybe even a rear naked choke. The people that are like, dude, Magomed Ankalaev, and by the way, I'm not making this up. I've literally had multiple people say this to me, dude. Dude, Ankalaev's not going to out-grapple Pereira, dude. This guy got subbed by Paul Craig. I'm going to just let that sit for a second, bro. So you think that getting submitted by Paul Craig means Alex Pereira is somehow going to be able to submit Magomed Ankalaev? That's what you're saying. And the fact that Alex Pereira is drilling takedown defense by doing fucking front rolls and jumping flips and shit. This guy's doing fucking clip farming emotes in the gym instead of practicing just disengaging. I just don't like this whole thing for Pereira. This is a matchup that he's kind of avoided for a couple of fights now. Let's be fucking real here, dude. This is a fight that we've been waiting for like a year plus, pretty much, right? I know there was some circumstances as to why it couldn't happen, but even the fact that it's now happening during Ramadan, it does kind of look like Pereira was waiting and biding his time for this matchup and maybe preparing a little bit more for it. But that's also been more time Ankalaev has only been focusing on beating Alex Pereira. Like round 2 and 3 against Rakic, I'm like, this is what he's going to look like against Pereira, bro. He's going to be slipping enough shots to stay good on the feet, checking enough leg kicks to not get fucking wobbled, and doing breakdancing emotes in front of him like Blachowicz. And as soon as he mixes in those takedowns, I think it's going to be wraps, bro. I think he's going to be able to ragdoll Pereira at moments in this fight. And I think it's either going to be a decision or a late, like round 4 ground and pound TKO, maybe a rear naked choke when he gets on the back, because I do think there is a difference between these two as strikers and as grapplers. So my prediction, I'm going to be picking Magomed Ankalaev to win this fight. I know that it's a bit risky. I know that my prediction rate has been low a little bit. I have been grinding, bro. Like these Apex fight nights, I've been putting together some pretty good predictions for these, just writing them down in my notes and everything. I'm feeling good about this card, bro, about 313. I'm feeling ready to go on a fucking redemption arc right now like I'm Brian Ortega, dude. So I'm going to be picking Magomed Ankalaev. I think he's going to mix things up well. I think the threat of the takedown is going to make the striking a little bit less easy for Pereira as compared to Blobs, Jamal Hill, Midget, Khalil Roundtree with no wrestling and 2 rounds of cardio. Yuri Prohaska literally refuses to block his fucking face from punches. I think this is just a different type of light heavyweight that Pereira's fighting. And I don't like the fact that Ankalaev is training, grinding in the gym every day. Every day I see a new video of this guy training with someone. He's training with Volkov. He's training with Lucas Tracy. Icons of the game. Pereira's hanging out with fucking Drizzy, dude. Trying to meet somebody's padre and madre, dude. What is this guy doing? He's literally supposed to be training for the hardest fight in the division. He's hanging out with fucking Drake. And you're not worried about that. Be real, man. You know if you're a Pereira fan, you're worried about this fight. So let me know in the comments down below, man. Who do you guys think is going to win this one? Let me know in the comments section. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing my full card predictions later this week. I'm also dropping the Blockhead tier list tomorrow. I'm finally doing it. I've just been building up the courage to drop this legendary tier list video. So subscribe for that. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. I will see you guys in the next video, man. Goodbye.